right, and the recording start. Just mic check, mic check. All right. Good afternoon. This is the Just Go With It talk show. I'm Adrian Avila, and this is kind of just our talk show now. Of course, as we know, this all started as an assignment for theater. So, hey, we're just going to go with it, right? So, kind of what we're thinking about this podcast is podcast talk show, whatever you want to call it, is, just cover random topics. There's no kind of topic or one specific thing that we're gonna try to be covering. It really is just gonna be kind of current events, kind of like, oh, okay, just thoughts and randomness. So enough about me. Shaun Stone, if you will please introduce yourself. He is our co-host, and I think he's gonna be with us a very long time. So Shaun.
Hello, my name is Shaun Stone. I'm a freshman at Randall. So, yeah.
Yeah, let's go, Shaun. Okay, so what we're just going to do real quick is just go through a couple of points. And I think we'll both elaborate on these, but I mean, just kind of like, what are your thoughts on coronavirus? I mean, we're just going to have to go right in. I know if you don't want to hear about coronavirus, I'm very sorry. That's just what we're going to cover. So, Shaun?
So all of my thoughts on Corona is, God, I'm gonna try to not to get too political here, but my thoughts on Corona is,
Just go for it, Shaun. Just go for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So my thoughts on Corona is, I mean, it is a thing that's currently affecting our planet, and it's not exactly something that we know how to face just yet. But with the recent guidelines, or not exactly recent, but with the guidelines over social distancing, I think those are a very good thing that has been put into place. In my opinion, with all the reopening that's been happening over these past few days, I don't think it's something that we're exactly ready for just yet, because I know a lot of people are taking that as we are the test rats of the Corona research, because people are seeing it as Trump is saying we can start reopening instead of him going out himself. And I don't know.
Right, and I can kind of see where you're coming from. I know a lot of elderly friends, if you will, and I feel obligated to say, I mean, we're putting them at risk, and by reopening it and kind of increasing those chances, I mean, we have to be thoughtful of everyone, I think.
Yeah.
But I could see how some of these actions are perceived to be kind of against kind of your God-given rights, and those are promised in the Constitution. But I don't know. I think that the Constitution wasn't written in the time of coronavirus.
Oh,
I really think that there has to be different changes and boundaries set in place. But I really commend all of our local and federal government for doing the right thing. And well, I mean, I commend them for their hard work and doing all that they can. But so Shaun Stone, during this coronavirus, we're just gonna go into your kind of personal life. What is the worst thing to happen during this coronavirus? Just this kind of.
In my opinion, the worst thing to happen really so far was the unpreparedness of lots of different countries.
Yeah.
Because Italy decided not to prepare, and we've all seen where Italy is now. I don't know. I think the whole world just needs to really come together right now and learn from other people's mistakes, I guess, because Italy was extremely unprepared and they got very hard hit by Corona. And with the whole coming together thing, China hasn't been reporting any cases recently, but out of kind of speculation, with everyone else getting a lot of new cases very rapidly, it seems kind of odd that they're not exactly getting a lot of them recently, if that makes sense.
Right. Maybe it's because they had that in their country and they weren't letting it known to other countries.
Yeah.
Um, I really think that this whole situation is kind of there's a lot of gray areas, if
Yeah.
you will. I feel just stuff that we don't know, just stuff that the average American citizen doesn't, and I really think that in a way is concerning at a level, but probably it's for the best. But then again, it's still concerning.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but the worst thing to happen to me during this coronavirus, it was probably, you know, just having. I really get to say that my coronavirus kind of experience hasn't been that bad, but I mean, I really think that the speculation and the whole situation we're under is kind of bad and it's not good.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll just go to what was the best thing that happened to you during this time.
The best thing that's really happened to me personally is just I've had more time to spend with my mom because she normally is traveling as her job. She'll fly out Mondays, come back Fridays, and then that's weekly. But since a lot of the places that she's been going to have decided it's for the better if they don't have anyone come in from either out of the country or out of the state.
Right.
And with a lot of things being shut down now, she can't just take off and go. So now with how that's set up, she's here at home pretty much all the time. So it gives me more time to experience with her.
I think that's good. I really think that that's been kind of a benefit for all of us. And what I've seen is that we've become so adapt to a lifestyle that is always like a go 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 mentality. We don't give ourselves the time to rest, and I think that for my family personally, we've kind of have been forced to stop and slow down and put those brakes on. And has it been hard? Yeah, because for busy people, I don't think we know what to do with ourselves sometimes. Yeah, and it's kind of funny to see um, kind of everyone trying to adapt and getting used to the normal. So it's been really funny to see that happen. Um, but but the best thing that happened, I had a birthday not too long ago here in April 18th, which was now we're making this was like 2 days ago, this past Saturday, and my parents surprised me with a drive-by, and that was I mean I've seen I've seen videos and pictures of it, and at first you're like, oh well that's kind of cheesy, but then you're actually taking part of it, and it's really kind of overwhelming. I mean, it's a sign of our times, but it's really powerful to see, kind of all your friends, although they're in a car, but they're still there, and
Yeah.
it symbolizes that we're all in this together. So it was really fun, and we handed out ice cream, but we wore gloves and
Yeah.
masks. So didn't break any rules. Okay. Just so if any government agency ends up watching this, not liable. Okay. Okay. So I guess we'll go into our next point. So Shaun, what was hard that you thought was easy? I mean,
What I thought was really going to be easy with this was adapting to just staying at home because whenever we went on spring break, we weren't prepared for the rest of school to not go back. And I was thinking that all this time off was going to be so great and just amazing that you have all this time away from school. But it really kind of opened my eyes to why I like school so much, and that's the fact of all the social interaction that you gain from it. And I think that's really been the hardest part for me, is just adapting to missing out on that.
Right, right. And I think that the social interaction is something that we take for granted. Um, yeah, I have to say that for my point as well is that there are certain things we take for granted, like sitting in a restaurant, just day-to-day operations, going to Walmart, without having to wear a mask or feeling like it's odd, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that uh, we did take our life for granted in kind of the everyday thing, everyday operations. So I think that whenever it all goes back to normal, we're going to be a lot more grateful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we get to tear down the walls of our rooms down and really just live like nothing happened.
Yeah.
So I guess that brings us to our next point. What was easy that you thought was hard?
Originally, I thought what was going to be really the hardest was going to be online school, because we didn't exactly know how it was going to happen, and it seemed like a very scary topic to cover because of all of the questions that went along with it. But after that first week of teachers kind of learning what they wanted to do, it became extremely easy, because
Right.
they realized what they wanted to do and how they wanted their lessons to go.
Okay, yeah. I have to yeah, I really think personally for me what was easy, and I think that's for every student, is that, well, I mean, for students at our school, I think that they'll find that that 10-minute assignments, I mean, that is easy, of course. But it goes back to my other point, is that I really liked those in-depth learning experiences,
Oh yeah.
and kind of having those full lessons. They're easy, but are they in-depth, and are they kind of like the curriculum that we were getting? No. But you have to do what you have to do, right? Um, but and I really do commend our teachers for taking the initiative to actually go the extra mile. So that was awesome. All right, so that brings us to our third point. So after this quarantine, what's the first thing that you're gonna do?
I'm going and getting some friends, and we're gonna go do stuff. I don't care what.
Yeah,
I need to spend time with people.
just stuff, just
Yes.
stuff. Okay, yeah, I'm down. Just tell me what we're gonna do. Lake Meredith, they have beautiful camping spots. So does Polidoro Canyon if you're into camping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big camper, so I really think uh, just camping, not necessarily camping, but like you said, just having friends to talk to and
Yeah.
get an actual full education that's gonna be in depth is something that I'm gonna look forward to. And the first thing I'm probably gonna do after quarantine, like the very first thing, is probably go eat at a Cracker Barrel. Now, I'm a really big fan, okay? I'm sorry, their pancakes are phenomenal. Mama's breakfast, or is it Grandma's breakfast? I don't know. It's amazing. But the one thing, okay, a funny story. Back before this whole thing started, I tried to make Cracker Barrel biscuits. Now, I think we all know with the Cracker Barrel biscuits, they come out in a little, little basket, and they're very warm, and they come with like premium jelly. It's like, oh, okay, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. But I tried to make, I bought the mix, and I tried to buy them and make them. Long story short, they come out looking just fine, right? But like you tear them open and it's like doughy inside. I don't know what I did. I probably added too much flour, less flour. I don't know. But if Cracker Barrel ends up listening to this, I'm very sorry for disgracing the Cracker Barrel biscuit makers. Yeah. And that's probably all I'm gonna have to say on that topic. but they were really hard to eat, and I had to throw them away. I probably got sick after that, but yeah, I guess YouTube videos and research. So point four, okay, this is like a sacred topic. What movies have you watched, including TV shows?
Um, I've caught up on a lot of Impractical Jokers.
Impractical Joker. Yes. Yes.
'Cause Impractical Jokers, movie-wise, I watched The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, Tracy Morgan. Trying to think of who else was in that movie. There was a lot of people in that movie. But that came on a couple times, and I'd sit down and watch that because that was a really good movie. I ended up borrowing a friend's Netflix account, and I watched Black Mirror. I got probably like 6 episodes of that in. That was a really good show. I enjoyed it. But
Have you watched, I have to bring it up, Tiger King?
yes, sir.
Thoughts on Tiger King? Come on.
I dislike Carol Baskin
Huh?
because
You
I
dislike
dislike
Carol.
Carol
Okay.
Baskin because she's, from what it looks like, she's a very large hypocrite because she's saying Joe Exotic is doing all these bad things with the Tigers and all that, but she's more or less doing the same at her own ranch.
I know. Okay. And here's what I thought. I mean, of course, I don't think anyone is like in the right ethically speaking.
Yeah,
No one is in the right in that TV show. It's just that I mean, Miss Carol Baskin has just gone over the top to destroy
yeah.
her competitors in a very ugly way.
yeah.
And the sardine oil, oh no, oh no, don't get me started on that. Um, uh, I'm speechless. I really think she killed her husband.
Oh yeah.
Where is Ron? Or is that his name?
I believe so.
Where is Ron? Maybe
Like
he's under
Joe-
the septic tank.
Yeah,
Maybe he's
under the septic tank. 100% under the septic tank.
So I'm
Guaranteed.
trying to find the movies I've been watching and catching up on is of course Tiger King. Sine and I, we've been watching the Star Wars trilogy. Right now we're on Solo. Well, no, we're on Rogue One. Is our next movie, but the Star Wars trilogy, I have to say, I wasn't a big Star Wars fan until Sydney was like, you have to watch Star Wars, like, and then I watched it, and I was like, it's like I've been missing out on this for a very long time. Star Wars is now like on my top list. Very good movies, very good movies. Have been watching Tiger King. I'm a big documentary guy, so I've been watching like Our Planet. Oh man, oh man. There's one. Oh man, I got caught off guard. It was The Day Off with. Let's see, and I'm pulling it up. Yes, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That. Let me tell you, that was okay. That was a pretty good movie. Another one we watched. It was so good. I don't know what else to say about that because it was like action packed and it was good. It was good. So if you haven't watched that, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, gotta watch it. All right, so here is a good topic, and I kind of touched on this earlier. Is takeout better than dine-in? Why or why not?
In my opinion, I don't know. It's kind of a double-edged sword right there because takeout it's allowing you to get the food from the restaurants that you want and take it back home to your own home environment. But a lot of restaurants nowadays are using their restaurant as the environment that they want you to look in, because like you said earlier, Cracker Barrel, the whole inside is very homely. It's very
Oh yeah,
rustic.
yeah.
and it matches their food. Like, it matches what they make very perfectly.
Yeah, the kind of persona of what they're
Yes.
going for in their food. Yeah, and I really have to agree with you on that. Like you said earlier, is that you can't excuse me, you can't beat that experience in sitting in a restaurant with your family or friends and actually sitting down and eating a meal. I think that's been kind of hard for us as a family, and we look forward to going back to our Cracker Barrel, our old seat in the corner by
Old
the
country
window.
store.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, we love that. But I really think that what the restaurants are doing, and we've seen local community or local restaurants uh, step up and kind of get food for our first responders, and I think that although we're not able to sit in in the restaurants we like and kind of feel at home, if you will, I really think that they are making their effort to
Oh
try
yeah.
and give back. And I really certainly do. I think that is amazing to see as a youth, seeing them step up and yeah, and that was pretty cool. So, any new hobbies?
Um, Recently, my new hobby has been me and some friends made a pact where each day we're going to be running a mile, and we're trying to increase that time as good as we can. And when I started, I wasn't exactly in the best running shape because I haven't ran in a while.
Right?
But I think my first day, it was at like 11 minutes 30 seconds, I want to say. But that was also with a good portion of it being walking because my body wasn't used to running that kind of distance. But yesterday's mile, I had it down to 7 minutes and 54 seconds, which I think more or less is just getting used to running that longer distance.
Oh yeah, yeah. Who'd you make the pact with?
Um, I can't say. She doesn't want to publicize that.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, sorry. That's awesome. I really like y'all's commitment. That's awesome. Um, so y'all are kind of like challenging each other.
Pretty much.
That's awesome.
Just kind of pushing each other to kind of put in that extra effort and get that better
Right.
time
That
and just get
accountability.
that extra bit of exercise while we're on this very long extended break.
That's awesome. I commend y'all. Very good. Very good. So right now, who's winning?
Um, the last I talked to her, it was down at like 7 minutes, but she
Okay.
hasn't ran in a couple days because she ran with her sister not long ago, and
Okay.
then whenever she ran with her sister really showed her up, so it kind of
Yikes.
hit her
Yikes.
like in the feelings, and it's like really, but I'm
Well,
currently attempting to get her back on this pack.
right. Some encouragement.
Yes.
All right, here we go. If you could travel anywhere, and of course, this is assuming that uh, this is all over, if you could travel anywhere, where would you go?
100% Greece.
Greece. What would you do in Greece?
Um, Honestly, I'd be visiting a lot of Athens, normally staying towards the ancient parts, such as the Parthenon,
Yes.
because
Yes.
that's been one of the things on my bucket list to go see.
Really.
Like,
Oh, go ahead.
okay, ancient Greece, I don't know. It's always the whole mythology to it. It's always interested me because I don't know, it's different, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I have to say on that topic is, if we want to go into American history, I hey, I'm the American history guy. I love all things United States of America. But I think what ancient Greece and ancient Rome, their contributions to the founding of our democracy was they actually correct me if I'm wrong, they actually created democracy and they kind of set those standards. I know that there were philosophers, and I read a lot of philosophical books. Right now, I'm on Aristotle's Ethics. I really want to get into Plato and Socrates here in the coming future, but what they symbolize, the I can't say it, the
The
the pa-
Parthenon?
the
Or, wait,
Parthenon. Yes, I'm sorry,
Parthenon.
Parthenon. I'm getting a grammar class too. Hey, we've been away. Uh, but what that building represents is kind of instituted government. The ideals of our government, of popular sovereignty, uh, all men are created equal and endowed by their creator, the Declaration of Independence. We get our roots from there, and I think that's a very important to see. So ancient Greece, that is a sight to see. I watched a video a couple of days ago. It was the countryside of Greece and the wineries, absolutely beautiful. When we get 21, we'll have to go experience fine wine in Greece.
Will do.
Will do. Uh, if I could travel anywhere at the current moment, or not at the current moment, considering this all kind of dies down, I have a far-fetched idea of getting a tiny home in the Swiss Alps. And when I mean get a tiny home in the Swiss Alps, I mean way up there. I saw videos and really love kind of the Swiss Alps scenery, the mist and the fog kind of going through the Alps, and it's kind of like kind of majestic and it's beautiful. I mean, there's something about the peace and kind of just the calmness of that scenery. I mean, you don't beat it. Also, but if Switzerland doesn't work out, I mean, there's always Colorado or also Oregon. Oregon is on my bucket list as well. And I actually have a full list of places I want to go. Um, I could probably share that next time. I have a top 10 list, and I don't think I can reach it right now, but I think that the plan is here's a fair far fetched, but that's all right. Get a sailboat, and we just hit all of these locations, okay? You know, if you can work up to a sailboat, it's gonna be the pinnacle,
Yes.
and it's gonna be fun. But you know, take friends, go places. Uh, you know, hey, go 3 weeks in the Caribbean islands,
Yeah,
or
just not be anchored down to one location for all of your life.
the U.S. Virgin I think that that's kind of what's so special about kind of this idea is that we're gonna have a lot more versatility when it comes to where we want to go in our travels. I've been watching sailing documentaries. Boy, does it look rough, but boy, is it worth it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of life's goal right now. Get that sailboat, and we're gonna go sailing. So, Shaun, you're welcome to climb aboard. Okay, so moving on. Point A, name one thing that is keeping you stable during this quarantine.
Um, well, keeping me stable wise, it's just my electronics because they're
Right.
keeping me linked with the outside world.
Yeah. Yeah. I really think what's keeping me stable is I really, you know, we have I say this, we have the perfect weather to be quarantined. It is beautiful outside, and I'm sitting here looking out my window. and I mean, with clear skies, a little bit of cloud coverage, nice breeze. I mean, I like to go set up a hammock, and it's funny because I had my hammock set up, and my neighbor, they were walking by, and the husband told the wife, "Well, great, now we have hobos living in the park," and I and I climb out, and the husband already left because he didn't want to see the hobo, and I was like, "Hey, it's just me." I mean, I like. Do I look like a hobo? I guess so. Mysteries of life. I guess we'll never know. Um, yeah, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Really weird times. Very strange.
Yes.
But I think what's keeping me stable is knowing that um, we're all in this together. No one is having. I mean, if this is hard, if there's a hard part in our experience, is that there's not one person that's not going through it. So that's really funny. Um, all right. So point nine. What have you gained from the COVID-19 experience, kind of personally?
I think I've really just gained just a little bit easier like access to reaching out to people, I guess. Because a while ago it was keep everything to yourself, but that was also whenever I had the time where I could, where I still had people to talk to. And
Right.
even though I might have been keeping it to myself, talking to people kind of got my mind off it, I guess.
Right.
But with kind of that whole aspect missing, it's making it a little bit easier to, if something has come up or I just need someone to talk to, you can easily reach out to a friend over text or
Right.
FaceTime or
You know, I like that. I like that response. We rewrote the high school freshman experience history book. Uh, that's pretty cool. Um, you know, and all things set aside, and I kind of use that expression that in the near future, and I hope that I knock on wood that I hope that this is the only time that this is gonna stick with our generation only. And I don't think that there is going to be a normal after this, but for the freshman class 2023 Randall High School, we rewrote what the high school freshman year looks like. But I think that goes back to what I keep on saying is that we're all in this together. But I mean, you do what you have to do, right? So, but what I've gained from the COVID-19 experience is that we take life for granted. I feel like we don't spend enough time with our families. We don't take time to actually look out the window and say, you know what, I'm going to dream big because, tomorrow may be my last. And I really hope that our world sees that the expectations for an average person to work, to get up at 7 a.m., to work all day until 5, for a weeks on end, all year round. And although that may be a rewarding job, I mean, is that something that we should really be proud of? I mean, shouldn't we be able to take control of our lives, to travel, to dream big? I mean, if you want to write a book, I mean, what's keeping you from writing your book except for things kind of getting in your way? But I really think that hitting on the whole idea of pursuing your dreams, and hopefully this is kind of a wake-up call to older generations who are holding those expectations high. Um, I really think that this is going to be a wake-up call. But this is also going to be another wake-up call for political wise. And Shaun, I know that you and I can talk about this all day, and we're running a little short on time. But I really think that we're gonna have a wider spectrum and kind of set boundaries for what the government can and cannot do in situations and crises like this.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what we're going to see develop. And actually, I'll make sure that in the next talking points, I add that in there, is that how these situations are developing, and what we're seeing and what responses are. And maybe one episode we can just talk about politics. But I really think what as a community we're getting from COVID-19 is we're going to see a lot more unity. We're going to see a lot more strength, and we're going to see those boundaries be set by the people, because as Abraham Lincoln, a government for the people, by the people, ran, shall not perish from this earth. I think we're going to actually see that. And our second to last, how much longer are you going to be able to take this? And what is going to be your breaking point, Shaun?
I don't think I'm gonna be able to truly handle it much longer, because we have probably from like today, I believe it's like a month left of school.
Yeah, we
Or
have 4.5 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, because there's that, and that whole aspect has kind of, I don't know, it kind of hits differently, because really think about it, and this whole portion we've lost of school time and in-class instruction, and we have a whole nother month of the same kind of thing. And if it's really not over by at least by right around the end of school, even if it's a little bit after, it's going to get kind of, I don't know, it's going to get really iffy, because
Right. I think it's
Right.
going to raise a lot of questions. Definitely.
because kids are going to be out of online school too, and that's going to give them a lot more free time overall.
Right.
And with everyone being stuck at home with nothing else really to do, I don't know. It's going to be
Yeah.
going to get rough.
Problematic to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and that brings me to my next and final point, and we'll close with this. Shaun, what brings you hope during this quarantine?
The fact that all of our medical workers and first responders are doing amazing during this crisis and they're just doing the best that they can at this time. And it brings me hope that with all of this effort that they're putting into defeating this virus, that eventually we will be able to go back outside and we will be able to see each other once again.
Right, and I think that was well said. I think that the America that we used to know is going to come back more prideful, more stronger, more unified than ever. And what brings me hope is kind of it is the first responders. It is the government and kind of all of our community members coming together and responding and defeating this virus. But then again, it's people like you, and it's people like our future members who are going to be on this talk show. It's them that are going to bring hope, and it's that we are able to share our opinions. Wilfred M. McClay said that America is a land of hope, and I think that is we could go into that again, but we're running a little short on time. But perceiving America as a land of hope for from actually past and future generations, that's more needed in this time than ever. I think that America will come out of this strong, and America was built to last. And I think that is what we're going to see. And I don't think this great nation is ever going to perish. But that's all I have for today. Shaun, do you have any last thoughts?
I do not.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I know that this has been quite a long episode. We're coming about 40 minutes. Oh man, that's awesome. No, but we have a lot to say. Uh, I really hope that you stayed and kind of listened to all of this. I know that I personally enjoyed talking with Shaun here, and I really say, I mean, this first episode was very successful. Um, I think that when Shaun and I, we're gonna have long conversations, but that's gonna be awesome. But I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Shaun. I appreciate you sticking with me for 40 minutes and talking. And I think that concludes our first episode of Just Go With It. Uh, Hopefully, next episode we'll have either Maddox Knight or Sydney Tatum kind of join us and give us kind of their update and their thoughts. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, just go with it. All right. Thank you.